Hello, and thank you all for joining me this afternoon. Mr. Stevenson, I appreciate talking to you on the phone last week and learning a little bit about what PB Interiors is all about. I appreciate you inviting me in to talk to the Board of Directors today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Brian Price. I'm the Area Director of Business Sales for Cellular Sales. We're the largest authorized retailer for the Verizon Wireless brand. What we're going to do this afternoon is just take about 8 to 10 minutes, give you an overview of who Cellular Sales is and what we are, what we do, and how that can be beneficial to PB Interiors as a business partner. And if you have any questions, I'd appreciate that you hold them until the end. Feel free to write them down. I'd be happy to answer them when we're done, but if I get off on a tangent, we'll be here all afternoon. I know none of you want to do that today. So if that's okay, we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, you can see on our slide here, we have just an agenda of the things we're going to talk about. Just some things that we want to go over and give you an idea of who we are. The first of which is going to be the history and a little bit of the philosophy behind Cellular Sales. We were started about 17 years ago in 1993 in Knoxville, Tennessee by a man named Dane Sissom. He started as a one-store operation and has grown to be a multi-state operator in that 17 years. The things we were founded on were having your own personalized representative, meaning when you walk into one of our retail stores, you don't have to take a number and wait in line to see who's going to be the next available to take care of you. You actually get somebody with a name that's going to take care of you like you were part of their family. Of course, customer service and customer loyalty are the backbones of what we do, and that is something we take a great amount of pride in. And following that up, of course, with our uncompromising, personalized service. That is something that we all truly take to heart, and that is something that is a business philosophy. We take it as far as we can with our business partners. Currently, we operate 324 retail locations. We are Verizon Wireless's largest authorized retailer, as I said before. We operate in the South, the Midwest, and Atlantic regions, currently in 12 states. That is going to be moving forward to about 40 states in about the next 10 years. That's the pace we're looking to set. We are Inc. 5000's fastest growing retail privately owned company. That's something we're very proud of. As I said before, we did start out as a one-store operation back in 1993. Since then, we have had 17 straight years of positive growth. We are also a debt-free company. I think as somebody that is looking to do business with us, that's very important to know that we are not some fly-by-night operation, but that we are here to stay, and we plan on going a long, long way towards the future of our company as well as yours. Technologically speaking, Verizon Wireless is constantly upgrading its network. I'm sure you've all heard the Can You Hear Me Now campaign that Verizon had in place several years ago. That is still true today. Verizon reinvests billions of dollars annually into its network to improve it. Currently, they're in the process of rolling out the LTE, or long-term evolution. Some of you may have heard it referred to as 4G, something that encompasses our voice and high-speed data networks. Why that is important to you is going to be in the future. Currently, I know, Mr. Stevenson, when you and I talked, you were frustrated with some of the coverage you had for some of your employees on your job sites. And in the future, of course, we looked where the coverage map took us, and you all will have coverage where those sites are now. But in the future, as you move farther and farther out, you'll still know that you're going to have coverage with Verizon Wireless. Verizon is also always on the cutting edge of technology, working with different manufacturers to provide the latest and greatest handsets and devices. I know, Mr. Stevenson, you also commented that one of the things that you all had some issues with was knowing when your people were clocking in and clocking out on job sites, if they were really truly there when they said they were, since it's remote. You don't really have anybody that can vouch for them. Well, one of the technologies we have that I think I spoke to you a little bit on the phone about will actually provide a digital timestamp with their GPS location, so there's no getting around when they're going to be there on the job site, and that's something that we can talk about a little bit more in the future. Cellular Sales internally developed its own website to support the Android operating system. One of the cool things about that is it wasn't actually the company that did it, it was actually representatives that work with the company. And why I really like that is it means if I have a question about the Android system that I can't answer for one of my customers, then I can call an internal person and say, hey, can you help me with this? And I know I'm going to get their undivided attention because they have my best interest and my customer's best interest in mind. I don't have to call an outsourced company to find out an answer. Support for the customer, of course, as I've stated, Cellular Sales offers you your own personal account manager. You have my direct number, of course, and something that's really cool is Cellular Sales has actually just completed a $6 million call center that they built in Knoxville to support only the Cellular Sales customers. And what that means to you all is it's not a company or it's not a call center that you're going to be calling. They actually call you. Why, might you ask? Good question. The reason behind that is when somebody comes into one of our retail locations or we have business dealings on a B2B level, they can then call our customers to make sure when they follow up that they were treated with professionalism, with respect, and to the best of our abilities as a follow-up to the customer. So they're checking up on us to make sure that we're doing our jobs correctly, which is great. We are very proud of that fact because we know that we're doing the best we can to take care of you all. Of course, Verizon Wireless then offers their own on-website support with their chats. You can live chat with customer service or tech support if that's something that you feel like you need to do. And of course, you also have a dedicated business support team that's available by telephone. But as your own personal contact, your first line of contact, I know you're never going to get past me as an individual. And you'll never need to. Our commitment to the future, Cellular Sales, as I stated earlier, is on pace to be operating in 40 states in about 10 years. What that's going to mean to you all as business customers is going to mean if you're traveling personally, not only are you going to be able to have peace of mind here at home, but when you're outside of the state, you know that there's a pretty good chance there's going to be a Cellular Sales store, and you know what great service you get when you go into one of our stores because you know the great service you get from me as a business-to-business representative. We're going to get there by having that relentless focus on customer loyalty that I spoke to earlier. And of course, you know Verizon Wireless is committed to maintaining the lowest customer turnover rate in the industry. And what that means is the percentage of people that leave Verizon Wireless to go to other carriers. There are still people that do that, very few of them. In fact, Verizon has the lowest turnover rate in the industry at about 1.2%. The next closest is 1.7%. I won't name names. But the neat thing is Cellular Sales turnover rate is actually lower than Verizon Wireless as a whole at about 1%. So we have about a 0.2% variance there. And the reason is because once people do business with Cellular Sales, they don't ever want to go anywhere else because they're taken care of in such a good way. And that is also something that we are always proud about. As I stated earlier, Verizon is in the process of rolling out their LTE service, and that is on pace to become coast to coast in about 2.5 years by the end of 2012 is what their goal is. And what that's going to mean for you as a consumer is no dead spots. Yes, you heard that correctly, no dead spots. That is the whole goal with LTE. The bandwidth that Verizon Wireless is going to be operating on has a far greater reach and penetration than the current megahertz band we operate in. And that's going to be great for anybody that's going anywhere before that they didn't have service. They will now have service. And that's something that as a company that represents Verizon Wireless to you, we are very proud of as well. At this time, I'd like to say thank you for listening to me for the last couple of minutes. I hope it's been kind of informative. I saw some pens writing, so if there's any questions, we can go over them at this time. And what we're going to do now is go ahead and take the next 30 minutes. We'll answer those questions. And then we're going to kind of get down into the needs of what PB Interiors is looking for a partnership. We're going to talk about where you are now currently with your cell phone provider. We're going to talk about where you think you want to go, what you think can get you there, maybe some of your frustrations, and maybe things that you think you would want to see in the future. So I appreciate your time again, and we'll go ahead and sit down and talk now.